Hello and welcome back. It's been a month since I got my Zerowriter and I just wanted to have a bit of an update with you and talk you through some of the features, updates and kind of my reaction to owning this piece of kit. So let's take a look. So first off, the thing that we have to remember is that I bought the Zerowriter when it first came out. Now this is from Amazon, this bag, and it is for a 13-inch iPad Pro. Now, as you can see, my Zerowriter doesn't exactly look exactly like everybody else's because I've done some of my own augmentations. So what we've got is this. This is the Zerowriter as I've got it. Now, as you'll know if you've followed any of my other videos, I've currently got a slightly green screen. Most people have got it down as a grey one, which comes with it, but I've put a filter in mine. Now also, and I'll talk about this later, I've got a piece of paper stuck to here, what's actually a piece of card with my folders in, and that is fine. What I need to do now, of course, is switch it on. The thing you remember about the Zerowriter is that it has instant on. You turn it on, it has a thing, comes there, and here is the text. That's it. You're now ready to type. Now, I'm not going to say that this has been absolutely plain sailing. About 1% of all of the people who bought it had an issue with this, which was the on switch. Okay, it kind of broke a few times, but that's kind of it. Also, I had issues with something down here. I had issues with the space bar, and that is to be expected. You're supposed to massage it. I've ended up taking it off and giving it a bit of a massage and also inserting some springs, which is basically down to a fault with the board which lives inside, and it was very, very rare as a fault. I'm being sent a replacement because that's the kind of customer service that we're getting from this guy. So what we've got is this. Here's the important bit. There's been some updates to the operating system. Now the operating system, if we just go to settings, has been updated. If you were an early adopter and you were with the very first run, then you had to unscrew the cover, plug something in, unplug something else in and update it. But if you are a current owner of this, you can now update the operating system to be a whole host of new things. And this is well worth experiencing. First off, the most important thing that's been added is a simple thing. It is the cursor type. It was originally just a flashing line at the bottom of the screen, but this became a square. Now this is important when you're typing. It just makes it a lot easier to see. But more importantly is the system color, black on white. You can turn that into white on black. Now, given my green filter and my white on black option, if we go back to the text, this is what it looks like. Okay, and of course I've now shown you that I can't actually spell. This is what it looks like. Okay, so now you can see that the e-ink screen allows you to type anything you want. And of course, go to save, go back to menu, and we can look at some of the other options in the settings menu. Also, this was originally working with text files, now which is great. However, instead of text files, what we also got is a version of the text files. There's two different ones. So there's save as text, save as markdown, and save as fountain. Yeah, fountain. Now, fountain is a format that allows you to write and format your text as a movie script or a TV script. So you've got a distraction-free writing machine that allows you to write movie scripts. And with Markdown, you've got something even simpler. So that's what I've got running at the moment, and I'll show you that now. So normally, if you're just doing a text file, it looks like this. However, if you do __ and then write underscore underscore and press enter, you get bold. And if you do 3 underscores, and sorry, if you do 1 underscore and write, and then press enter, you get it in italics, which is not something you normally see in text. Obviously that transfers over because we're still dealing with the Zerowriter, and the Zerowriter, as always, keeps its folders here on the SD card. It doesn't have a lot of the other bells and whistles that you would get from a classic old traditional word processor. Things like a spell check, but that's just yet. It might have a spell check at some point. Now, some of this might have noticed this piece of cardboard on here that I've added. This has journal, lists, Necronomicon, Draft Zero, which is the name of one of my books, role-playing games, Cheese World, again, it's something else I've done, Fangs of New York, which is one of my novels, some short stories, and of course Here Be Dragons, which is the big writing project that I'm going on with. The reason that I've got these is because if you go to menu and you press that, this brings up the folder called that, and on the memory stick you will have folders that correspond to that. You get 9 folders and they all correspond to the numbers. Also, this is something you can only do on the Zerowriter, you can remap the keys. Like I said, with the remapping, obviously I've managed to convert this into a UK keyboard by adding the speech marks here, the pound sign, and of course the @ sign is now back where it belongs down here. You don't need to do that, and obviously if I could buy the UK keycaps I would do that, but you can't win them all. Why would you want to do that? Because people live around the world. You can have any format of keys on here because you can remap them using the free program that creates something called a JSON file. Sounds a bit complicated. Trust me, if I can do it, you absolutely can. You save the document and it transfers what you press into what comes up on the screen. You can do this on a phone, you can do this anywhere, and you save that file onto here. Also, you can have any TrueType format font which would convert, again, using the free program, to on-screen. This is absolutely your writing machine, and it turns into anything you want. It might not be perfect at the moment, but this is an early adoption thing. And you know what? I absolutely love it. So, it's up to you whether you want to go with it or not, but I, for one, absolutely love this. So, if I go here and press the lock screen, Zerowriter. Thanks for listening.